Hey yo, what's up everybody? It's your boy Matthew Maley for MatthewMaley.com. Well, I'm back on the couch with a new camera, so hopefully I'm looking extra 1080p right now. And it's time for another weekly movie review. Well, this week I was able to check out a flick that I was actually really interested in when I first saw it coming out, but it got a very limited release, so I wasn't able to check it out in the theater, but thankfully I was able to rent it, and it was very well done. I'm speaking of the newest Woody Allen flick, Midnight in Paris, which stars Owen Wilson as well as Rachel McAdams, plus some extended cameos, if you will, from Kathy Bates, Adrian Brody. I can never pronounce her name right. It's Marion Coutard. Hold on, what is it? Sorry. Marion Cotillard, I believe. She's a French actress. She's pretty well known. As well as, I'm trying to see some of the other people that were pretty well known. There were a lot of faces that you would recognize, but nobody else like really big named. Michael Sheen is kind of well known. After he actually was in a movie that I reviewed previously called Unthinkable. He played the lead terrorist in that. And he plays a total douchebag in this movie. As well as the father, played by Kurt Fuller. That's Rachel McAdams' father. He's also pretty well known. So, basic synopsis of the movie is Owen Wilson and Rachel McAdams are soon to be getting married and decide to tag along to a trip to Paris with Rachel McAdams' parents, as well as while they get there, they meet up with this Michael Sheen's character, Paul, and his girlfriend. And you can tell from the jump that Rachel McAdams doesn't have the same love for Paris that Owen Wilson's character definitely does. He is a writer who is kind of at a crossroads in his career because he feels very disappointed with himself for going kind of the easy way out and producing fluff garbage screenplays for Hollywood when he actually does have a true passion for literature, for writing in general, and for the city of Paris. So I'm not a big fan of Owen Wilson. I think he's pretty, normal. I think he's pretty basic in every movie he's ever done. But I got to give him credit. This one was actually, he showed some range. He still fell back on some of his usual, Owen Wilson shtick, if you will. But I was much more impressed with this than I have been in the past by him. Really since Shanghai Nights. Or Shanghai Noon. Shanghai Nights sucked. Anyway, sorry, me going off on a tangent. That was just a short one though. But anyway, he one night after a day of dealing with family and lots of BS, he decides that he's going to go walk the streets of Paris. He's been in love with the city since forever, just based on everything that it really represents. And he decides that he is going to go walk the streets. Well, he, after drinking quite a lot, he ends up finding, kind of through random events, a car that is a 1920s, I believe it's a Duesenberg, kind of pulling up in front of him while he's passed on some steps. And sure enough, some people kind of pull him into the car. So after driving around a little bit, they go to a party where he notices that it's really weird, but everybody's dressed up in 1920s clothes. And when he asks the man and woman that he's there with what their names are, he is responded to with Zelda Fitzgerald and Scott Fitzgerald. Yes, the Fitzgeralds. As well as when he inquires who it is who's playing music, it is none other than Cole Porter. And he's, at first he's just thinking he's too drunk, and he's thinking that, these people are just having a costume party or something. But by the end of the night, after a very interesting, to say the least, meeting with Ernest Hemingway, he starts to realize no matter how crazy, no matter how out there and impossible this process is, he is truly in the 1920s. And just to kind of to take a step back real quick, that's one thing that I thought Woody Allen did a really good job on, is he did just make us take that leap of faith, if you will. He didn't worry about how's it happening. He didn't worry about how did he find some portal? Did he find, is this his hallucination? Is this real? Is it not? He just kind of put it out there for us to accept. And I actually like that it didn't, it didn't take a lot of the movie to deeply dive into what, if this is real, if it's not, if it's possible, if it's not, I'm not saying that time travel is possible, but whatever. But I like that. It was just kind of like, well, this is what it is. Accept it. I just liked that. It was kind of like the TV show Lost, for those of you who have seen it. It was just kind of like, well, this is the island. Crazy stuff happens. Black smoke monsters, hatches, numbers counting down, planes crash. That's just what it is. It's kind of just put out there, and he just accepted it. So after his first night, he then decides that he's going back for more. At this point, he then decides to bring his novel along that he's working on, so that he can try to give it to Ernest Hemingway. When he does, Hemingway then puts him in contact with Kathy Bates' character, who is Gertrude Stein, a very famous book editor and really just literature person of that time, who starts going in and analyzing his novel, which is written about current day. So it's really kind of funny that they bring that in. But what I really liked, growing up, I've been around really art, architecture, literature, my whole life. My mother is really big into the art industry, and so since as long as I can remember, a lot of my summers were spent in Musée d'Orsay or the Louvre or the Metropolitan Museum. I mean, there's just always been constant art around me, so it's something that I always had a big appreciation for. So when you have scenes with Pablo Picasso, when you have scenes with Adrian Brody plays Dali, you have Toulouse-Lautrec, you had Gauguin, you had I'm trying to think of who else was on there. Hold on, I want to name everybody. Picasso, Dali. T.S. Eliot's in it. Matisse is in it. Toulouse-Lautrec, Gauguin, Degas. That's who the other one was, Degas. And it was so cool. Like, each person that would be introduced, I'm like, oh, that's Dali. Oh, that's Degas. And like, to me, growing up, that was something I was always around. So it really holds a big kind of chunk of my childhood, really. So I'm nowhere near into art as much as I used to be. I still, definitely appreciate it and enjoy going to museums to see it. But I'm not, when I was younger, I really knew a lot about it. And I was really pretty big into it. So I definitely, still enjoy it, but nowhere near as much as I was. So this was kind of fun to bring up some of those old feelings about art and those old thoughts about it. And it was really cool seeing how each one of the characters interacted, because that was something that I'd always heard of. I'd always heard about how they were interacting. He also meets Marion Cotillard's character, however you pronounce the name, I apologize, who he then starts to fall in love with, because she represents everything about Paris in the 1920s, which is what he is so infatuated with, and something that his soon-to-be wife, Rachel McAdams, couldn't care less about. She's too, I don't want to say too busy, but she's enjoying the present day France, the shopping, the skiing trips, that type of stuff. And while he really, as the movie progresses, wants more and more to move to Paris and become a true writer and live in this that he's living each night from the 20s, she continues to go more and more the opposite way. So it's fun to see their, dynamic, as well as a detective is hired by her father to see where Owen's character continually goes off at night, and that actually ends up being pretty funny. There's a little scene in there as well. I won't give it away, but it's pretty funny. But overall, I thought it was a very well done movie. It was definitely a movie for somebody who's more interested in art and really Europe during the 20s, during the golden era, if you will, because if you aren't, a lot of it's going to be missed on you. If you don't have an idea who Gauguin is, or who Matisse is, or who, obviously I'm sure everybody knows who Pablo Picasso is, and probably Salvador Dali, but some of the lesser known people might not be, as prevalent through schooling or teaching, unless you want specifically to learn about art. So that might end up being, that'll take away a lot of the fun of it. Of course, you're still going to be able to see Hemingway and how he was described, and Picasso and how he was described. But for me, what was so fun was seeing these lesser known people that still had pretty big, little, even if it was just one scene, it still was really exciting from my perspective to see how they were portrayed. These artists that I've been looking at their works my entire life, it was really cool to see that. So overall, I definitely liked it. I'm giving it 4 stars for really just being a fun movie. Overall, it was well done. Owen Wilson did some great acting. Rachel McAdams played her part very well. And everybody else did a great job, from Adrian Brody to the guy who played Hemingway, to Kathy Bates, to Marion Cotillard, or however you pronounce her name. I gotta go Google that. But, so there you go. I don't feel that I'll add it to my collection. It's another one of those that really doesn't have a whole lot of rewatchability to it. It was definitely very well done, and I'd shout out to Woody Allen for it. Great job. But I don't see any reason that I'd watch it again, honestly, unless it was to watch it with my mom just so she could see it. Outside of that, I really don't see much purpose for me to watch it again. So there you go. But overall, definitely was a fun movie. And if you are a fan of the early 1900s of artwork in Europe, Paris in general, I would recommend it. If you're somebody who doesn't know much about art and doesn't really have any interest in art or literature, there's really not a whole lot of point in seeing it. There are some funny parts, but you can see a lot more funny movies with a lot more funny parts without sitting through literature and art discussions, if you will. So overall, I did like it. Shout out to everybody. Good job. 4 stars for that. And there you go. Midnight in Paris. So good job, Owen Wilson. Finally did something a little bit outside of his spectrum. Not a whole lot, but a little bit. And I thought he pulled it off very well. So, as always, thank you for checking out my weekly movie reviews with yours truly, Matthew Maley from MatthewMaley.com. Of course, you can check out the rest of my videos anytime you like up on MatthewMaley.com. Check the video blog tab, scroll down, check everything out. I am in the process of setting up the website, so you'll be able to scroll by each year, because I know it takes a while to load all the videos right now, but hopefully soon you'll be able to click on a tab for 2009, 2010, 2011, and now 2012. So it'll at least make things a little bit easier in terms of what you're wanting to look for. But that'll probably take me a couple months to get finished with how GoDaddy works. So until then, check everything out in the video blog tab and leave me comments in my comments discussion tab. Or double click the video, send you over to YouTube. You can watch everything on YouTube. Subscribe to my channel so you can see everything else and get first dibs when it comes up, as well as maybe like the video. I like those thumbs up. Don't like thumbs down, so don't do those. As well as leave me a comment if you liked my review. Did you like the movie? Did you think it was well done? Do you love art and love the movie? Do you love art and hated the movie? Do you hate art and love the movie? Or did you hate art and hate the movie? I'm curious. So let me know. And as always, you can follow your boy up on Twitter at Matthew Maley. And finally, like your boy's Facebook page. Search for Matthew Maley Poker. So, till the next video, I am officially signing off. And have a great weekend, y'all. Peace out.